Hey guys, my name's Ethan, this is Carbra, and welcome back to the series where I teach you how to build a Discord.py bot. Today we're actually going to be creating the bot in the Discord developer portal, adding it to our server and making the bot run. So we're going to be doing a lot in this, but we're basically just going to be building the main frame of the actual bot rather than doing any extreme programming, quote unquote. So to get to the Discord developer portal, you just need to, I think, just type in Discord developers. Google will sort that out. Yeah, and then it's the first link. And you basically want to get to this stage of developer portal. These are all the bots I have. Some of them are running, some of them aren't. Some of them are basically retired. But what you want to do here, well, you need to sign into Discord first, obviously. What you want to do here, once you get onto this screen, is hit New Application. And you want to give it a name, so we're just going to be boring and call this tutorial bot, because I lack imagination, apparently. Are we going to give it an icon? Sure, let's give it an icon. Let's give it the Carbra logo. I'll do it later because I haven't exported the Carbra logo as a picture yet. Actually, no, give me a second, I'll do that real quick. There we go. Turns out I did have it, it was just in a different directory. It's fine, everything's fine. I can totally do this. But yeah, so you need to give it a name and then a picture. You don't need to worry about any of this stuff. You can give it a description if you want. I honestly don't know if you can... Does it change the IRL example? Oh, it does! Oh, that might be interesting to experiment with. My tutorial bot. Hey, cool. I've never given a bot description before, so we'll see what that does, see if that changes anything. Then we go to bot. We can leave OAuth2 for now. Go to bot, hit add bot. Yes, do it. And this will create a bot account for your bot. So your application is now bot, essentially, is what that means. So as you can say, the username, you can change specifics about it here. So I think your username and the general information name can be different. You have your discriminator, which you can probably change if you're on Discord Nitro. I'm not. You'll want to turn public bot off because you don't want it to be added to other servers, because it will be just your bot. Unless you do, then you're probably watching the wrong tutorial. Again, I'll do a multi-server tutorial later down the line, but I just want to do something a little more simple for the time being. This requires OAuth2 code grant. I don't know what that means. I really don't. I have no idea. I've never needed to use it. It's probably not something you need to use. But yeah, now your bot is basically done. It's ready to go. So you go into OAuth, you select under scopes, you select bot, and then you choose what permissions you want. So we're just going to be making our bot an administrator. One, because it's easier, and two, because it kind of needs to do a number of things. But of course, if you're making a bot that, I don't know, it's just a call and response thing, you can just have like view channels and send messages and stuff. Or if you're creating a music bot, you probably only need some of these. But we're just going to make it admin because it's easier. Hit copy, put it into your browser, select the server to go into it. So bot, I've got a bloody, look at the millions of the things. But we'll put it in bot tutorial for now. So as you can see, it is an administrator, but it can't paint a happy little tree. It's not Bob Ross bot, unfortunately. Yeah, we just need to do the capture so you're not bot. And boom, so we now have a bot. That's a private message. I'll probably have to black the screen out for a second. I'll just black the screen out while I was looking at that DM. But as you can see, the tutorial bot has landed. This is kind of like a little test server that I've done, so it's called bot tutorial. It's a pretty sad little server. It's just got me and my test account in here and the bot, obviously. But it's kind of set out in a way that a Discord server might be. So you've got a rules room, you've got a welcome room, you've got a goodbye room, general memes, bot spam, you're not safe for work room. You've got your voice channel, you got your admin text, your bot testing, and your admin voice. And no, there isn't any lewds in a not safe for work room. It's just there as a thing because it's in a lot of servers. I don't quite know why, but there you go. So yeah, our bot is in the server and it's ready to be coded. So let's go to our IDE. Let's just put my, oh my god, huge on the other screen. And let's go to write template. I've just got a little template thing over here, so I actually program everything correctly because I'm prepared like that. first we need to sort out all our imports. So from Discord, if I can spell it right, import utils client. Now this utils thing is just a little helper for something to make coding for a single server a lot easier, essentially. But I'll explain that in a bit. This client we are also going to need because this client essentially represents most of the Discord stuff. I guess it's kind of, it'll probably be easier to explain that a bit. Yeah, we also want from Discord discord.ex. Oh my God, I literally cannot type today. Commands import bot. So this bot is essentially this client object. It's just got a few other things in it to make it, I guess, that helper functions for bots essentially. There's not really much of a difference. Anything you can do in the bot, you can do in the client, but actually having a bot is a lot easier, I guess. Well, it sort of depends what you want to do with it, but it does make command interfacing a lot easier at the very least. So we'll need a few constants. So we want our token. We'll leave that blank for now. I'll get back to that in a second. You'll want your refix. We're just going to set as exclamation mark. You can set this to literally whatever. There are no limitations. And then you want your client equals client. And me, I just call it me. I'll explain why I call it me in a bit. But we'll call, oh my god, command prefix equals prefix. So this client is just setting up the client. I can't really remember if that line needs to be there for the bot thing. I think it does, but don't quote me on it. You can experiment with that if you want, but I just create the client anyway. This bot thing, the reason I call it me is because I'm insistently using Pascal case rather than camel case. I don't like camel case. I think it's really confusing when you've got single word object names, and of course if I set a bot here as a bot here, it's going to get confused. For some reason it doesn't do the same thing for the client. I don't know why. I guess it's because you never have to call the client really if you have a bot. But yeah, I just kind of do it like that because I like my Pascal case. So if, like, to me, like this me, I can look at that in the code. I was like, oh, that's an object. If it was that, I'd be like, well, is that a variable? Is it a thing? It would take me a while to look at it, and if I have it like that, the thing's just gonna get confused. So I'll just call it me, call it whatever the hell you want. I really don't care. Whatever's easier for you. As I said, this is just a guide. You can improvise all you want. And we're also gonna set a guild object to be me.get. Actually, I just realised something. We're not gonna be able to do that yet. We're just going to set guild as an object for the time being, because I've just remembered that is wrong. You actually need to be logged into everything before you can start setting objects. So we'll just leave it as an object for now. Explain what it means later. Started equals false is just a little catch for essentially if the bot logs in and starts running, and then there's some sort of connection error and then it reconnects, it's going to call the same function it did when it logged in, and if you're doing a lot of processing and that's going to just break everything. So yeah, we'll get more into that when we start, but we are going to define a few helper classes. So we're going to have a class called get, which is going to have a function called channel, and this is basically going to be where our utils come in. So this is basically going to be a function where we can easily call a a channel using the channel name. So you can just call a channel with the name rather than having to use the ID. So to do this, you just do utils.get guild.text channels name equals channel name, and essentially what that will do is if you say get channel I don't know, general, for example, this function will actually return the channel object for general here. Actually, we probably want to change this. Of course, it does get a bit confused if you have multiple channels with the same name, but you shouldn't really have multiple channels with the same name. It's weird. Sometimes it lets you do that, sometimes it doesn't. But there you go. That's the wrong thing entirely. So that's just what that does. This little line. If you don't really understand this line, it doesn't make it too much of a difference. It just makes things so much easier in the long run, so much easier to read as well, because you're not having to deal with numbers. Otherwise, you do have to deal with like everything. Like just do this. This is the ID for the bot tutorial guild, but every channel, every role has its IDs, and if you don't use this, then you have to call them by the ID, and it's just really unreadable. So I just have these little things because by doing it by name is easier. Yeah, the main loop around for this is kind of events. So Discord has a good number of events that are built in, all of which use the me or the bot or whatever you name this dot event. So putting this decorator on a function. So if I did async def on ready, so this function would be treated as an event. This on ready is something that is called automatically. So you put these things on stuff that is called automatically in the API. So for example, on ready is called whenever the bot is finished kind of loading everything in a memory, when it's logged onto Discord, when it's connected, when essentially it's ready to go. If you have this little thing here, the API will call this automatically, and you're basically overriding the default behavior, which is nothing. So we're going to have a little thing saying if not started, await get.channel, and we've got a channel called admin text that we're just going to send this little thing to, just saying that the bot is online. Just a little thing so you know it is. If it's already started, actually we need to start, so we need to global start, don't we? Global, oh my god, global, oh shit, I cannot type it out, I do apologise for this. Now people are probably crying at me using a global variable. This won't work without it. This is kind of one of those times where it's fine. But essentially if you try and say started equals true without specifying a global, this started up here won't change, and then it will always be false, and then it just won't work. So you do need to global that variable. You probably won't need to global too many. But yeah, for some reason Discord bots require you to global more. It's weird. And if it's reconnecting, we'll just have another different message saying I've reconnected. So basically this is grabbing a channel object, this get channel here. So this will actually return a channel object with a load of attributes. One of the methods is a send, and having as a channel.send will send whatever you pass in here to the actual channel itself. Way nicer than the old way they did it. They changed that to be very nice. So we're just going to define a few events that we'll be using at some point during this tutorial, but most of them are going to stay empty for a while. So you've got onMember join, which automatically has something passed to it, so you need to do a member. This member object contains all the information about the member that has just joined, and then similarly, or conversely I guess, you'd have onMember remove, which is called whenever a member is left. So these functions are basically how you do the how bots automatically call things when members join. Members join. So if you've ever joined a server and had me6 or Atlas or something like that give you a message, then that is the function they use. Even though I'm not sure if Atlas is built on Discord.py. I know me6 is, so I'll use me6 as an example. On error is a good one to have. It's not really necessary, but having it's useful. We're gonna code that properly in a second. In a future video, but having just a little bit of error handling is nice. On command error is very much the same, except for some reason it takes very different parameters. It's an exception. I'll explain what the context, what this CTX thing is in the video we talk about commands, which I think is 2 from now. It might be 1 from now, I really don't know. I can't remember how I planned it. I think it might be the next video actually. We will see, who knows. There's on reaction add, which is called, which takes a reaction object and a user object, which is called whenever a reaction is given to a message. So that's whenever any reaction is given to any message that the bot can see. And again, conversely, on reaction remove does the same thing. We'll be talking about that in a future video. And then finally, we get to the one that we're going to be in the most. On message. Thanks Sublime, I appreciate that. So this on message function is called whenever a message is sent in a channel that the bot can see. So the bot has read messages permission in any channel, and because our bot is an admin, it can read every single channel in the entire server. Whenever anyone sends a message anywhere on the server, that function will be called. So that's a very important thing to have. And at the bottom you have me.run token, which basically just shoves your token into the bot and runs it. Now, this token thing, what is it? Well, every bot is actually given a token when you create a bot account. Let me show you in the Discord developer portal. So you have the thing here, I think it's bot, yeah. So you have this click to reveal token. Now this token, if anyone else gets their hand on this token, and yes, I will be changing it before these videos go out. If anyone gets their hands on this token, they could just plug it into their bot and fire it up. So say for example, if me6, someone stole me6's token, and plugged it into a bot that was basically just going to nuke servers. With enough computing power, they can pretty much wipe out half of Discord. So it's incredibly dangerous if anyone gets your token. So if you're hosting it on GitHub, then please, for the love of God, put it in a separate file. I have tokens like encrypted with a fairly basic encryption thing, but it works nonetheless. Even I don't even host them elsewhere. I host them on the actual VPS that I own. But yeah, that's an interesting one. So this token here, it comes with a string, and when this function here finds token, it sends a token. So one more thing we're going to do before we get the bot going is, yeah, I did do the on already, is we're going to have a little thing in the on message. So if message.author.bot return, essentially what this does is accesses the author attribute of message, which contains all the information about the person that sent the message. One of these is a boolean that says if they're a bot, so if they are a bot, ignore the message because you don't particularly want it reacting to every single message. And if we have, just for testing purposes really, if the word hello is in the content of the message, and you just do dot lower, so it doesn't matter what case. Await message.channel, which is the channel the message is sent. So essentially this is a reply. Just tell the bot to say hi. So if you run this, we can see how many errors we got, because there's inevitably going to be one. Let's see. There is one, isn't there? No, there isn't. Is it just taking a while to connect in? Hello. This is new, it's not doing anything. Is it just taking a while? Hold on, let me work out what's gone wrong here. Oh! Forgot. We haven't set the guild up properly. Oh, I knew there was going to be something like, yeah, because I miscalculated the plan. Okay. That's a thing. So we do global started and we do global guild as well. We just do a set guild to be me.get, what ID is it? Me.get guild, and then we pass the ID in. And that, to actually get an ID like that, you can just do right click on the server and hit copy ID. I believe you need to have developer settings to do that. If you don't have developer settings, you go down here, hit user settings. Oh my god, where is it? It's been such a while. There's probably a section called developers that I'm just missing because I'm stupid. Okay, I'm literally completely blind, so I can't see this. It might be in here, and because streaming mode's enabled, it's not letting me do it. Yeah, I'm just being blind. I can't see it at all. That's basically how. Yeah, that's how you would get an ID for it. There are other ways of getting IDs for like roles and stuff, but now we can actually run the bot and it will work. I suppose it didn't error. I don't know why it didn't error that. There we go. So now we have the tutorial about saying I'm online. Because it's online and ready to go. We haven't got any errors and stuff. So if I go in general and say what was it? Hello, wasn't it? It replies to us saying hi. So we have a bot that's online that can send messages and that will reply to us. So in the next video, just move that out of the way, we will be doing some more advanced stuff. So once you have the bot online, of course you're going to want to shut it down at some point. So we'll be talking about that as well, because you won't always have the REPL to shut it down with. We'll also be dealing with error handling, because that's a very important thing. And we'll also be writing our commands. So it is the next episode we're doing commands. So we're going to be writing some commands as well. So yeah, this video was a bit longer than I thought it was going to be. It took a bit longer to explain everything. It doesn't help that I completely screwed up some of the programming before. Sorry. But yeah, as I said in the last video, I'm still fairly new to this. So if you have any feedback or anything you want to share, leave them in the comment section below. If you have any questions about what I've talked about, or just want to get in touch somehow, then leave that down below as well. I'll always be happy to answer if someone else hasn't already. And yeah, I'll see you in the next episode where we talk about commands and stuff. But yeah, until then.